This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh. Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Link Up Podcast with your host. Today, it's just the Take-Ins, which was the new name that we just kind of discovered for the Three Amigos. Hey. So this episode is just the Take-Ins here, chilling with y'all.
We out here.
Just for, clarification, as your boy, Mistuh King. We got DJ Woods, the Chosen, and we got Richie, a.k.a. Rashid, over there in the corner.
Drink a cup of tea a day.
Yeah, man. Tea is important.
It's good for the soul.
Life, all of them things. Even though some people prefer coffee to tea, got their own preferences and things. You're more of a tea man or a coffee person?
I am more of a tea man myself. Yes.
Coffee like Booker T or?
You old enough to know what Booker T?
What you say?
You old enough to know what Booker T?
Of course. I almost sing his theme song just now.
What is this man's catchphrase?
Can you dig it? Sucker!
That wasn't The Rock?
Nah, no, that's Booker T.
Booker T?
Yeah.
Really?
The Rock is can you?
Kind of like, I remember when Booker T was a spinneroonie and he was a black man with dreads.
This is a cake.
Yeah.
This man could come up with a better
I was
super
big
move.
into wrestling for a while, dog. So I saw Booker T when he was in WWE. And
Booker T is a good entertainer,
and then he went back to
but
WWE.
according to me, it was WWF first, though.
Yeah, but when it was WWE, he was still there.
You saying you were watching this for a while? I expect you to go back to WWF and them kind of things.
I mean, 2000 was a good while ago.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 19. Yeah, when you think on shit like that, it'd be crazy. Somebody born in the year 2000 is an adult now.
Yeah, that's my brother.
In my mind, if I hear you born 2000, I feel like you're a child. It don't even matter the maths. In my mind, you're still a child. No real people ain't born outside the 90s.
Yeah,
people still having sex and
no
stuff.
Real people.
I feel you. Last time I spoke with
to me, that's just something crazy if I hear you born 2000 or something.
Yeah, last time I spoke with a girl and she was born 2000. And I was like, and then I was like, wait, she making 20 next year, dog. I was like,
yeah. It's crazy. When you don't realize you're getting old.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily feel no different, but it's just time keep passing and them type of one.
I mean, as long as you don't feel old, then it's a good thing.
Yeah. I was just watching the interview with the game and he was talking about that. He gonna make 40 now, and I was like, the game is 40.
The game is making 40?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in 20-something days or whatever, because he was just on Everyday Struggle, promoting the new album and whatnot. And it's like, the game turning 40. It's just weird.
Yeah. And then you have constant reminders of everything in the world telling you that you're getting older.
Like what?
Like every other person around you getting older, and you get people reminded that
people getting kids and all that.
I mean, people have been getting kids since I was 14 years old. So
I think that just speaks to your environment, sir. You need to reevaluate your surroundings and things.
I mean, I ain't saying they were in my circle, but my circle didn't have any walls. You understand? So I could see what was going on outside of my.
I feel you. I mean,
see-through boundary.
We all know somebody that was a teen mom and stuff like that. But he was close to that man.
Our generation was the teen mom generation.
They made a show about it. I mean,
yeah, I used to watch that show.
No.
I hated that show with all my life.
All of it. People that watch those type of shows really just want to see people suffer, feel better about themselves.
That's how you feel about Love and Hip Hop, Bad Girls Club, Real Housewives of whatever state they're in.
But that's why I can't watch reality TV.
Majority of those things, what are you looking for? What are you getting out of it? It's entertainment, but I mean, is this really the most stimulating form of entertainment you could come across?
Some way, somehow, we end up on TV shows again.
I mean, it's these media people.
We the Take-Ins. Let's just do what we do best.
It's expected to happen.
Yeah.
At least from my perspective. Yes. Alright, so we're trying to do this episode not necessarily like the way we did last episode, because we just let the conversation flow forever before we actually got into a topic.
20 minutes long.
But yeah. Like watching the notes and things for an episode, it was like, How do I divide this up? I know you gave me the notes and one, but I was still trying to think, like, should I add extra ones or, like, I was like, you know what?
Just let it
The
be.
people can get it. The people gonna accept it however they get it.
What's the first topic?
The first topic we can get into, I guess, is John Witherspoon. Let's get the sad stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we could tackle all the lighter topics on that. So for those who may not know, who might have been sleeping under a rock or whatever, the legend John Witherspoon passed at 77, and I wish I had more information than that to tell you, but I don't know if it just hasn't come out or I didn't see any of it.
Yeah.
The family has kept it private. I also have been looking for, like,
Cause that was
how
the one
the man
thing I
passed
see
away.
everybody talking about, the fact that he'd passed, but nobody really say, like,
How?
to me, I wasn't really that pressed to find out how, because it's like, the man, Pops has been old since we knew Pops.
Yes.
So, like, for an old person to die is like, okay, I don't necessarily see no foul play. I ain't thinking no conspiracy, nothing minded. It's like, he was old, he died.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like blunt or whatever, but
The only thing,
that's-
like,
that's what it is.
we
That's
could
what it
make
is.
assumptions because it's the US. It could have either been a heart attack. I don't think he suffers from diabetes because I haven't heard anything about that, but that could also be a possibility. Could have been a stroke.
Well, then, like, let's not ponder on.
natural causes is what I assume it was, because like I said, he's old. I just assume natural causes. I didn't think much further than that. Like, somebody at 77 dying makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds plausible, at least. Then it don't sound out of the ordinary in a way.
Yeah. But let's not ponder too much on how, you know, the fact of the matter is, the legend is gone, right? So, rest in peace, John Witherspoon.
AKA Pops.
So now the
AKA
question:
Pops.
favorite moments of John Witherspoon? Like, what from the things that y'all have seen him in? What was y'all personal favorite? From Wayne's Brothers,
Wayne Brothers.
to Boondocks, to the Friday movies, to the other stuff he's done outside of that not come to mind right now.
I would have to say the Wayne Brothers show.
Yeah,
Like, obviously, like, Friday and stuff is more memorable. No, it's also memorable. But for me, like, if you, like, obviously you grew up in the generation, but that show for me, like, it's one of those shows that when I think about,
Classic childhood type of thing.
yes,
You can't like take away the nostalgia from that.
yeah, because like you had moments in Friday, but it's always the comparison of, okay, how many the amount of seasons the show was for, like the amount of times you saw the show. Like, there's so many moments within that show. And Friday has moments, but it's not a movie focused on him.
He's
You
not a main
understand?
character.
Exactly. So the moments are few and far between compared to with the show.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, but I mean, in Wayne's Brothers, it's a similar situation. He's still a supporting character, but because it's a series, you get more, you get exposed to him more, you see him more and stuff like that. So I get where you're coming from. For me, I think it probably just has to be the Boondocks, because I like Boondocks' greatness.
Yeah,
And the fact that he was a part of the Boondocks, not necessarily so much his contribution, because to me, Bang 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 and that in the Wayans Brothers is more legendary than what, like, his contribution as being Pops. Like he was playing Pops. That was the name of his character on Boondocks, right? Like Grandpa.
It was Grandpa.
Grandpa,
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember the actual
He has a name.
on Boondocks.
Probably, but like
How they refer to him pretty much was just Grandpa or something like that.
yeah.
Like, I just love the Boondocks show and what the Boondocks was. So the fact that he was on board with that and like just take it to the next level, another level in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, it's between Boondocks and the Wayans Bros. I don't know which side I put it on. Maybe the Wayans Bros because of the Bang Bang. That's just too iconic, and he had a whole song about it.
Yeah, I tell you, the more we talk about it, the more I stay true to my
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to the man. Family and friends.
Thoughts and prayers and all those stuff, you know. Hope they stay strong in the moment of loss. Alrighty then.
Oh, wait, before we continue, like, I had a couple of friends. I just wanted to slap them, no? Like, this, like, oh no, and they wanted to do a new Friday movie, nigga.
Yeah, cause that was one thing that I ain't gonna lie, it crossed my mind, Because they were supposed to be doing a Boondocks thing as well.
Yeah.
Busy making a Boondocks remake as well as a Friday and stuff like that. So it's like, how do both of these things, what happened? I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I love Boondocks so much, like I want to see it back. But it's like, without him, is it going to be the same? I know he was still a supporting character in that. Yeah, you could see the main people was Riley and Huey, and he was just kind of there. But it's like,
yeah, but he had some good moments in there too.
His son is a voice actor, so
JD.
It could be that if there's anyone that can mimic his father's,
I don't know, like
mannerisms and stuff like that, him being that he is a voice actor.
Yeah, but I've heard the son. I've seen the son and heard him speak and stuff like that. And I've heard his imitation kind of like pops because John Witherspoon and JD, his son, was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they was talking about Joe Rogan was trying to get them, telling them like, yo, y'all should start a podcast like your father. He's just hilarious. Y'all just need to film him doing different stuff. And I checked out like 1 or 2 videos on the YouTube channel because they did have some content. So I recommend everybody, follow those people reminiscing and who don't know who Pops is, go check out at least his son's YouTube channel that still exists. See some watch all the old stuff we talking about, from Boondocks to the Wayans Brothers. And if you don't know who John Witherspoon is, but to me, I get the thought, I get wondering why what would happen to it. But it's like the Fast and the Furious thing. Paul Walker died, y'all should have stopped it. None needed to come after Paul Walker died, in my opinion. But what Paul Walker is to Fast and Furious is different to what John Witherspoon is to Boondocks or is to Friday. I'm not saying he's not important. I'm not saying he didn't contribute significantly to the movie and all of that. But he's not the lead.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but the execs would argue like, no, we're making way more money than we were making back then, so your argument is invalid. For me, your argument is valid. Fast and Furious, because for me, that was when because Paul Walker was my favorite character on that show, hands down. So when he passed away, I really didn't care to continue the Fast and the Furious storyline. But everybody has their own favorite character in that show because that show has
a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially arguably, Vin Diesel is probably just as big.
Yeah.
Like, Paul Walker was obviously like the main person. Like, he's kind of who the story followed. But Vin Diesel is probably just as big a part of that movie. Like, it's not Fast and Furious without Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
The same way it's not Fast and Furious. It started off with both of them, yeah? So that's why it's like, it's not Fast and Furious without Paul Walker or Vin Diesel. To me, like, those two is the main people that make Fast and Furious what it is. Like Tyrese and Ludacris and all them other people, the Asian dude, all them other people that kind of came along as the series went. The Rock, like, y'all ain't authentically Fast and Furious. Y'all was people that they added to help bolster it, and
I mean, Ludacris is also Fast and Furious.
Tyrese in the second?
Because Tyrese, because they're in the second one. Yeah. And honestly, I enjoyed the second one way more than I enjoyed the first one.
So did I.
To me, Fast and Furious was good till it got like 4.
Yeah.
Like after 4, I feel like it was like, okay. Because 3, we didn't talk about 3, but 1, 2, and 4, like
3 was a misstep.
Oh, wow.
Nobody liked 3, huh?
I liked it at the time because of drifting.
I hate
the whole concept of drifting and stuff like that. That was new. So like Fast and Furious was one of the things that kind of introduced me to the concept of drifting. And every time I got in a car, or like if he was in go-karts or something like that, from then on it was like, okay, you gotta try and drift and stuff like that. That, like, it made it a thing, but it was not a good movie. You
know what made me like hate a movie? Just like no one could have like looked at what they were doing and be like, stop. Like first, like Bow is not the problem. Right? It's the character he was, and also the car he was driving. Dog, what type of stupidness is this?
I feel it's reflective of where they were. Like when you look at drift cars versus like what is the normal drag, like drift cars happen to be a lot more compact, kind of like a rally type of car you would use almost for like
I can understand something. All of what you're saying, right? But why the car need to look like that? Why?
It was the green thing with like, it had like faces or something on the back of it.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Yeah.
Baba will not be driving. You want me to look at a person, right? and say Bow Wow gonna drive that?
He wasn't Bow Wow. He was whatever the name of his role was.
In Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, when we saw Fast and Furious 2, we saw Ludacris's car. We were like, yeah, Luda will drive that.
You see, that's your problem. He's not Ludacris.
Exactly.
He's Tez or something. I think that's his name in the movie.
Separate the character from the person.
You want me to go past my disbelief? No, y'all are hiring. Y'all are hiring these actors.
So you talking about the same movie franchise that pulls safes out the walls with cars? You can't suspend your disbelief, nigga.
For the first,
come on.
For the first and second, you could suspend your disbelief because it was still grounded to reality. Somewhat.
I'll give you that.
So don't call with that. Don't call with that.
The first and second was still reasonable.
The third one was still also very, very realistic though, because the drifting was quite realistic.
And then it just got out of hand.
The fourth
and
one
started doing all kind of crazy shit.
Heist and shit.
A couple of Dodge Chargers.
I blame Triple X for all of this.
Yeah, Vin Diesel fault. The whole like dropping the cars out of planes, like the drifting between under the trailer. Like there's so much crazy shit that happens in Fast and the Furious movies. Like after that,
yeah, that's Triple X's fault. Sense. The man make Triple X. He was like, we should interject Triple X in the Fast and the Furious. That's why you ain't get Triple X 2.
Yeah. There was Triple X 2. There was Triple X 2. There was Ice Cube or some shit who took on the Triple X thing.
And then Vin Diesel came back.
There was never a 3.
You sure?
According to me, it was 2 Triple X's. There was State of the Union, or there was Triple X, and then there was Triple X State of the Union, or some shit like that. The second one was called.
Could have sworn Vin Diesel came back. Anyways.
I don't remember. Somebody in the comments.
Maybe I did see it, but it was so bad that I erased it from my memory.
Triple X, none of them was great. There was action movies. Like,
I mean, I enjoyed the first one for what it was.
It's like talking about Charlie's Angel.
No, we don't talk about Charlie's Angel.
There was never great movies. The action was interesting and over the top, and it was like fun to look at, kind of something to laugh at in a way because of how unbelievable some of the shit is. But yeah,
I don't even remember what we were talking about. No, this is one of the randomest tangents I've ever had on this podcast.
I was going to switch to something, and
because we went from coffee all the way to movies, dog.
Yeah.
He was talking about how important John Witherspoon was to his shows and stuff,
and that's how we got into Fast and the Furious. I'm feeling.
Yeah. Did we even finish the coffee conversation?
It don't matter at this point.
What was the wrap up of coffee? You like coffee? Do you not like coffee? I don't like how much more is there to say about coffee. Like I don't know what you want me to do.
I don't know. Anyway, comment down below. Do you like coffee? Do you not like coffee? Let us know.
Are you a tea person or are you a coffee person? Alrighty then. So this is something that I want to talk about just because I wanted to talk about this for a while, and I know you didn't watch it, but you need to watch Rhythm and Flow.
That's the show with T.I.,
Cardi, and Chance.
I I didn't watch it, but I did hear people talk about it on the Breakfast Club when T.I. was a guest, and also like all the other hip hop podcasts that I follow. So, like, I know the gist of what the show is about. I know that they voted on stuff. So actually, I don't mind getting spoiled because it's
a competition.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I'll be the guy that doesn't really know what's about.
You'll be like me during the Joker conversation.
Yeah.
So Rashid, you watch it? You finish in its entirety?
Yes.
Alrighty then. Cool. It's one of those things. It would have been great if you had watched it, but I'm gonna ask you, Rashid.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the ending? The 4 people now is on the finalists. Rhythm and Flow is a Netflix show. It got Cardi B, T.I. Chance. For those people who don't know what it is that we're talking about, if you haven't seen it, I recommend you go check it out. It's a great show. Like you were just saying, it's American Idol for hip hop, but actually like good. Slightly different thing, because one of the main things that I kind of want to talk. But before you answer the question, is like the premise. I really like the whole, like the idea behind it versus majority of The Voice, American Idol, X Factor, whichever one of those singing competition shows you want to watch. They all give you a terribly fucked up contract that is like you can't do anything, and if you do anything for like 2 years or however long it is, there's an exclusivity
deal.
Yeah. Like once you sign them, because the way they look at it as, and they're not wrong for it, because it's true. All the eyes that they giving you,
you would never have gotten that by yourself.
Yeah, So like whatever you drop immediately right after the show is like that you can easily make a correlation and see that that's because of American Idol or whatever show it is that your song doing this well or whatever it is that you put out after that. So any music, a lot of them say like you can't put out music, or if you can, it's just things that's affiliated with the show type of stuff like that. So they fuck you over from jump with that. But this one, the prize money is 250 grand. And the whole idea of how they were like was like kind of reiterating throughout the shows, like the mindset or the idea behind it is this just goes to support the independent grind. You already been making music, whatever it is you've been doing, this just helps you out on the chorus. So it's like you ain't signing no contract to nobody, you ain't tied down to nobody specifically. You could still be putting out your music. Like the dude who won, he already has a mixtape that he put out and been promoting and stuff. The winner, I mean, it's already public knowledge and stuff like that. Who the dude is that one?
D-Smoke.
Yeah, D-Smoke.
You know his brother.
You don't like D-Smoking?
You know his brother is.
That's why before I wanted to get into my criticisms of D-Smoke being the winner, I wonder what's your opinions on the finalist.
I was fine with it.
And D-Smoke being the winners: D-Smoke, London B, Troy Man, and Flawless.
Let me
talk.
What these people them look like at least.
D-Smoke.
I was very satisfied with the finale, regardless of who won. I was satisfied with how everybody came and like really showed out. You know, like even Troy Man, and for me, he was at like the bottom for me.
The weakest, clearly.
Yeah.
Glad we agree on that, but continue.
But even he gave a performance that I was like, okay, I enjoying this. You know, so I was very satisfied with how the finale was for the competition, regardless of who won. Now talking about who won, D-Smoke, I was fine with that too. I was happy to see that he won.
Okay.
D-Smoke looks like a D-Smoke.
Like, it's one of those, like, alright. My main criticism with the show, like, not necessarily the finale. Okay, let me get to the finalists then. The finalist, London B was my favorite. But I understand why D-Smoke won. Nobody else other than D-Smoke should have won. If somebody other than D-Smoke won, I would have been like, y'all on some shit. Like, he did enough to... He made it very clear that he was just a different type of musician than the rest of them. He was on another level when it came to his artistry and the thought that he put into things and all of that. So if anybody else won, I would have been like, y'all crazy. But for me, I felt that D-Smoke didn't need to win as much as somebody else would. So to me, that's why I feel like London B should have won. And in my opinion, London B still is the true winner because of the exposure and stuff that she got from the show. So I hope that it could still lead to some things.
She
people
got
reaching out to her and working with her. She got that superstar personality, man, from the jump. That's my thing. Like, she looks like a Tiana Taylor. She has the sex appeal and stuff like that, and how she dresses and all of that. So
and she could rap her ass
marketing-wise,
off.
exactly. To me, London B, we've never seen that before. Flawless, I've seen a million rappers that remind me of Flawless. Even though Flawless is one of my favorites, he certainly could rap.
Nice.
But he's a battle rapper. I know a lot of rappers that bring the same type of thing that Flawless brings. D-Smoke, he's Kendrick. I don't he's Kendrick. We've seen it already.
There's no way around it.
London B, that's why I feel she is the true winner on that show, because we've never seen that in rap. Her look and her rapping ability, to me, and her story is something that is unique to the culture of rap too. Just, if she, when you think on Cardi, Nicki, all the female rappers and things like that, to me, she still stands out amongst all of them and would be able to find a lane. To me, she's a way better rapper than Cardi.
No doubt.
She's a way better rapper than Cardi. She's attractive and stuff like that, so she could sell sex appeal and all that, because that's an integral part of a female being able to sell sex and stuff, whether we like it or not.
And she's a performer, which is
on
important.
top of the fact that she, in today's age, people might not be happy about it, but lesbianism, homosexual, LGBTQ shit, it's in fashion or it's trendy and all of those things now. Her being a lesbian and having that aspect to her career is something that she can sell. We've seen it with Young M.A. and all of that. That's why I feel London B, to me, is the person that should have won, is the true winner in my opinion, because she's just more unique than everything. At a certain point, D-Smoke even used a Kendrick, you heard a straight up stealing of one of Kendrick flows and stuff like that. His drunk performance was Kendrick's. on To Pimp a Butterfly, the song the drunken song off of To Pimp a Butterfly. Like, D-Smoke just basically jacked that performance from Kendrick. I'm not saying what he's not doing is good, but we've seen it before. To me, it's just like JID. JID would have been great if it wasn't so apparent that you're just trying to be Kendrick. Kendrick is great. Don't get me wrong. I understand why you would want to emulate that and stuff, but we've seen it. It's just like Designer in Future.
Okay.
Just like everybody trying to be Lil Wayne since Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
It's cool, but...
Yeah, I mean, trying to be Lil Wayne, but they still don't understand the concept of the double entendres and stuff like that. Like, they sound like him, but then when you go into the artistry of
it
his...
depends on what part of Lil Wayne you gravitate to. I feel because certain people gravitate to the look, certain people gravitate to the lyricism, certain people gravitate to the auto-tune, and just take that and those different aspects that they personally resonate with and run with it. I feel like when you look at Lil Wayne's sons, the Uzi Verts and all the people that all the mumble rappers, majority
You
of these
legit
people,
thought his son, eh?
no,
Yeah, I did.
Nikki told you all these bitches my sons. Nikki Benton, you know, she got a bunch of, and when you look at Stefflon Don and Meg Thee Stallion and all of these people, you like Stefflon Don in particular. Ain't no way Stefflon Don can't say she's not Nikki's son.
Yeah.
Daughter, I guess. But according to Nikki, all these bitches her sons, so I'm gonna go with her terminology and say they're her sons. And it's true.
Yeah.
Cardi even. Yeah, she's Spanish, but we can see Cardi pulled from Nicki. Looks wise, aesthetic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's undoubtedly that Cardi's pulled from some certain things from Nicki. Yeah, you can make the argument Nicki pulled from Lil Kim and Foxy before her, but she did it better. She did it more significantly, more longer than any of these other people. Like, I don't think you could compare Foxy Brown or Lil Kim's run to Nicki Minaj's run and
Obviously
how long
not.
she's been relevant and successful and on pretty much on the top of the rap game. It's just different.
So, just now I just pulled up a picture from London B, right? And the first thing that flashed through my mind is Eve. And I think that's a good thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I could see that. I could see that. But she's another one that's just like, I'd give y'all a couple albums and then just disappear, and she married some rich white man now, and she ain't even really fucking with hip hop like that at all.
I mean, live your life, boo boo.
I ain't mad at it. I mean, it's just the game missing some of that energy, you know.
That's
and that's
true,
why
that's true,
like
that's
London B, I feel like she definitely could fill that void in a way.
Yeah.
Troy Man is just Big Sean a Tiger, so like. He like maybe a slightly more lyrical Tiger, because Big Sean more lyrical than Tiger, for sure. But they still a similar type of rappers. Like it's like
club
swag. It's a lot of that they sell, and it's club shit.
Although Big Sean, this album,
Dark Side of Paradise, that's the best shit he ever made. That's why I say Big Sean is a way better rapper than Tiger. But I mean, he's still in a similar lane as like a Tiger. Like perception wise, the type of music he make.
I wouldn't find it strange if
he started trying to
T.I.
get deep after he started dealing with Janae Aiko, and she introduced him to some spirituality, I guess, and he started trying to get deep. But Big Sean,
deep
swag, big tune. Shout out Lil Wayne and Big Sean on that track. Big tune.
I wouldn't find it weird if T.I. signs London B.
He's still signing people?
Why? Because he's been
Trying
talking about and I would not find it weird. Yeah, he's still signing people. You got artists. He shouldn't, but I wouldn't find it weird if he does. Out of the whole panel, I think he's the only one that can.
Yeah, he's the only one that I know of that has a label. I mean, Grand Hustle, he's the only one that has previously signed artists and whatnot. So they probably could, Chance and Cardi, they both probably could start the label and sign some. I feel Cardi is definitely way too early in her career to even start looking at shit like that.
And Chance loves his wife.
Chance, I feel the same way as well. Like,
he loves his wife.
He loves his wife.
Even aside from loving his wife, the dude put out like 3 projects as well. Like, he's not that deep in the game. To me, he shouldn't be thinking about a label right now, neither. Like, continue your music thing. That's going fine for you. Keep working at that. Then maybe,
he loves his wife.
6-7 album. Start maybe do that.
If he even reached there. Even.
I mean,
I don't see why not. I don't see why you wouldn't. He dropped his full project. According to him, in his mind, it's his debut album. But us people living in reality, it's like his fourth project. So, I mean,
you like the project? Just a yes or no.
The Big Day? Nah.
Okay.
A couple of songs. It was,
Long as hell too.
yeah.
He lost his wife.
It had a couple moments that was decent, but in general, I felt it was like scatterbrain in a way. His explanation of it is like it's supposed to be representative of like a wedding. What's the thing? The party, a reception. Like a reception playlist. Basically, that's kind of the vibe that he was in his explanation. But I just don't care because the music ain't good. Cause that's why in his mind wise, like there's some dancey stuff, like some club type of thing. If you at a reception, you can hear a little bit of different stuff, and that's kind of his explanation for the vibe of it being that long. And it just takes you through the experience of the Big Day or whatnot. But
Maybe we
it just
can.
wasn't
Maybe,
it, in my opinion.
Maybe we can finally listen to the album when we in a reception, and then we play the whole album, and then we understand
Maybe
where his thought process was coming from. Right now, we ain't married, or we ain't planning on getting married soon.
But honestly, I think Acid Rap was Chan's best thing. Like the best thing Chance ever did was Acid Rap.
That was his second shit. His second project.
10 Day was the first one, then it was Acid Rap, then Coloring Book, and then Big Day.
Shit, the third one was Coloring Book for you.
Yeah.
That was such a long time after Acid Rap. Yeah.
He did also the Surf.
He did Surf.
Them collaboration projects and thing.
Right.
With Donnie the Trumpet, or Donnie Trumpet, whatever his name was. And
right.
Them type of ones.
But to bring it back to Rhythm and Flow then, what was some of your, standout moments of the show?
The critique that I mentioned earlier that I'm going to get to was the elimination process. I was talking to Ricky about this as well after. And my biggest critique overall, cause like I really enjoyed the show. I felt like it was really good. It was a lot better than I expected from a rap.
Same.
Like, we've never really seen this type of... The closest thing was a rap game with Jermaine Dupri and those as kids. Yeah. So it's like a different type of challenges, and the expectations and all of that's different when you're looking for a teenage star. Cause that's basically what Jermaine Dupri was doing.
Bow Wow.
So this is the first thing. Yeah, he was trying to recreate Bow Wow or that other group, Criss Cross. Now he was trying to find the next one of those, and that been going on for like 5, 6, 7 seasons of something like that already. So that kind of gave him a little blueprint. But to me, the issue was because of the fact that we have these 3 celebrity judges. You got Cardi, Chance, T.I., people that we actually kind of care about, like compared to X Factor and all of these things. Like, yeah, there's normally a celebrity guest judge, but you don't care about the judges like that. They're just people. Like Randy Jackson. I never cared to know what Randy Jackson was doing outside of American Idol. But
still don't know what he'd be doing outside of American Idol.
Simon Cowell just became one of the most known dudes because he mean as shit. But I mean, you don't care about what Simon doing. He's in the music industry. He's signing like Pussycat Dolls or whatever, some little girl groups and stuff like that he'd be doing. But I don't like that.
Is Pussycat Dolls little?
I don't care about them.
Okay.
They had like 2 songs that I remember, like I bet Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me and Loosen Up My Buttons, and those are the only things I remember from the Pussycat Dolls.
I mean, I don't really, I was just asking honestly. They're not my music.
But yeah, the point that I was getting to basically is that because they actually care about these judges, I feel like they spent way too much time showing like the auditions, because it was like 3 episodes. We were going to New York. I forget which one was first or whatever. We going to New York first with Cardi. Yeah, LA,
then one of the other.
Then we're going to Midwest somewhere for Chance and his auditions. And to me, they focus too much time on the auditions, and then when they get to the competition, it's like, okay, now we gotta rush through it.
Yeah.
Because we starting out with 30 candidates. Yeah. So from the first challenge, they cut that shit to like 16. So I'm like, some of these people you was interested in, or you're curious about them, you want to see them show their skills in a different light. Because like some of the I forget what the first challenge, that was a battle one, or
the Cypher. The
Cypher was the first challenge. Then they had the battle after that,
and then the battle. Yeah.
And those 2 challenges cut a lot of people out of it. And the way that they was set up, in some ways there was some controversy, especially in the battle portion.
Yeah.
Where people was like, I don't know if she should go home. And like there was one in the battle round, there was a point where this one dude was set up. They had different partners, and then Cardi was like, okay, no, I want to see you and you switch. And they switched the partners. So it's like 2 people that you kind of like now battling each other. So it's like one of them have to go home, when it's like if they had just set it up different, if they leave it how it was, because it was both strong people, there's both people you wanted to see more from in a way. So if they had faced anybody else, they both would have gone through other rounds and stuff like that. But because they put 2 interesting people again, Like,
Do that like twice.
yeah. And then there was one situation where, like, during the battle round as well, this one chick was all up in the other chick face and stuff like that, which, to me, I get that as a battle. And, you know, some of the, I guess, hand gestures and stuff like that, like, showing your boisterousness or whatever, those things is normal in battle rap. But the way this chick was going on, to me, that was even for battle rap. Like, if you watch Smack URL, whatever, one of those online battle rap leagues, she even was being extra than, like, real battle rap. So I'm like,
Her name is Big Mouth Bo.
yeah.
She didn't need to be there.
Nah, she did not.
Let me guess, this was Cardi B's pick?
Not a chance. And the
She
thing
was
is,
from Chicago.
she didn't even audition. She didn't go LA
Kinda.
to audition, right? He was in the, because what they do is they went to their own respective cities and then they had like a little, I guess, a mini audition with a few people there, and then they send people to LA.
Like some people was kind of personally recruited in a way, basically, and then they had
Yeah.
like just the traditional auditions, and
Yeah.
she was one of them that was more on that. It was her and Rika Lilacon to me.
Yeah,
Because
but
Rika
Rika
Lil, the
Lil
chick
did-
with the logs.
Yeah,
or
but she
with
did
the locks.
audition in LA. She did audition when she in LA. Big Mouth Bo didn't. She just went straight over. she
Rika
just
Lil
went
was one
straight
of those
into
people
the-
I definitely wanted to see more from. Old Man Saxon was
For
another one that I wanted to see
sure.
more from. Because Old Man Saxon, when the battle rap thing, he got
Is he an
sent
old
home.
man?
It's part of his persona and all of that he kind of wears suits and glasses and looks like a guy who was in a
Yeah.
in an office job or something type of thing, and kind of like classic man with Jadena, like that kind of vibes. He kind of has that same type of swag as
Like
well.
a very unique personality compared to everybody else that was there.
Yeah, definitely stands out easily.
Yeah.
Like he was one of the people that shouldn't have got sent home early. So like
I
that was
agree.
my biggest critique. Just
Yeah.
the selection process and the elimination process. Then it just they could have made it so that not Cardi, T.I. and people is who doing the auditions. Just only let them be judges for the actual show. Let other rappers or whatever celebrity guests maybe do the auditions.
Yeah.
Because to me, that was the biggest reason why they feel, okay, we have to show the auditions. Because this is showing each artist individually. And because we actually care about these artists, that's why you didn't necessarily mind it so much. Because it's like, it's more time you're seeing Cardi, or it's more time you're seeing T.I., or more time you're
Yeah.
seeing Chance.
Yeah.
But if they just got over that portion, selected the 30 or something, but then made it so that the show lasts longer, so that we could do a, like, cut down from 30 to 25 and then from 25 to 20 and like just make it stretch a little long so you could see different sides of people, because not everybody good in a cypher, not everybody good in the battle. Some people focus on in studio, some people more on the creative, like the different elements of an artist. You didn't get to see that fully with everybody just because of how it was kind of set up in a way.
But I
Old Man
mean,
Saxon.
even I think I haven't seen the show,
But
but,
one-
even if they did that, it would still be rushed in a sense, because you have to keep eliminating people for the so.
But when you see it, like to go from 30 to 16, like
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
That's a big cut.
Yeah.
That's a
Like,
big cut.
Another critique I had with the whole audition portion of it is like, from the first auditions we seen a whole bunch of backstories for people I don't care about. So it was, at first it was just drawn out. Like I wanted to turn it off at a certain point.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I don't care enough about these people to see their, like I want to see their auditions, to see how they rap, to see like if I like their style or whatever. Like Old Man Saxon didn't show none of his backstory, but I liked him immediately. Right? They could do that for everybody
Yeah.
else, but nah, we got to see everybody backstory.
That was another thing I thought as well. Like, just show the people that actually made it onto the show. Show their backstories for sure, and maybe a couple of like, okay, this was a really
Standouts.
good one or a really bad one or something from the auditions.
I love the bad ones.
Yeah,
by the way.
that's what we like. We've seen these shows before. We expect, like American Idol, they spend a lot of time focusing on who's the terrible auditions, just so we could hear what Simon can tell. Like
Yeah.
that whole aspect of it. Show us a couple of the really bad ones and the people who win, who are actually going to be on the show. Cause like you say, if it's 30 people though,
Yeah.
like if they had just showed those people backstory, that's still a lot of backstory to show you. Like, but yeah.
Exactly.
Like these, okay, to touch on what you had mentioned earlier, in the final round, Sir gets partnered, D-Smoke gets partnered with Soundwave. That bothered me immensely. So you telling me the dude whose brother is signed to TDE
Yep.
got partnered with TDE's producer, in-house producers signed to TDE. Dude, like, this is one. This is why to me he didn't deserve to win. Your brother is Sir. You've been on the road with these people, and like you was going to make it in the industry regardless.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I feel D-Smoke shouldn't have won. Like I said, he had the whole Spanish thing, which was pandering to Cardi, in my opinion.
No, it
you
was.
know Cardi is
a bit
Spanish.
overdone, in my opinion.
It got gimmicky. According to them, they felt it never got gimmicky, but I was like, I see through it immediately.
Yeah.
We seen Bad Bunny, we seen the whole explosion of Latin trap and what it mean if you rapping in Spanish and stuff like that, how profitable it could be. It's a smart decision to do it. To me, it came off gimmicky. To me, it came off as pandering. So that's why he never really earned any points for speaking Spanish with me personally.
I mean, first time he showed it, I was cool with it. I was like, alright, that's dope. But then the second time and the third time, it was like, alright, I know you speak Spanish, dog. Like,
he's a Spanish teacher and all that. He's tutors and stuff like that in Spanish, so that's kind of why he brought it in. And then in the end, he started playing the keys and stuff like that, brought out the piano and stuff. Like that's why, shit. Like, D-Smoke had to win.
Yeah.
Because
he had the clear advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like it just said, the way the Spanish people support like the reggaeton, the Latin trap scene and stuff like that. If you in that vein, you're going to sell. So I don't blame anybody for like shunning a Spanish rapping artist. Like, it's a great business move if you can rap in Spanish. It's a completely new Akon just dropped a Spanish album. Why is Akon making a Spanish album?
When is Akon making an album?
It's not from Africa.
Exactly. You ain't heard shit from Akon in never, but he make a Spanish album this year. I ain't listened to it because why the fuck am I listening to a Spanish album from Akon? That's the last person I want to hear a Spanish album
last
from.
I heard he was putting up lights in Africa and now he got a whole Spanish album.
I wouldn't be surprised if he would make like an Afrobeat album, but
exactly. That just proves my Tory Lanez and another dude who can't speak Spanish, but he was like, yo, I'm gonna make that Spanish album because I know the money that's involved with this. If you check the views on any Bad Bunny, what's the J Balvin,
that's a huge market. It's a huge ass market.
I can't remember the dude's name. He was on Cardi. He was the other dude, and or some shit like that.
I know what you're talking about, but
any one of them people, check any of their videos on YouTube and look at the views and look at regular hip hop and tell me, okay, what should I be making if I'm trying to get paid then? So again, I understand why they're saying D-Smoke, but he didn't need it. He really did not, in my opinion. He wrote Never for Jai. Like, he was a dude who already had his feet wet in the industry, being a songwriter, being a producer. That's why he was so comfortable in the studio and shit like that. He had an advantage over most of these people.
They need to set requisites for the following season by looking at how this went. I assume it is going to be a following season.
Yeah.
They need to just put requisites, like if you're already in the industry, or if you're like if you have good connects.
We still didn't know D-Smoke's name. If it wasn't for this competition, I would not have known D-Smoke's name. I would not have known who he was, any of his story and all of that.
That's true.
So like there still is an argument to make that even though you already was so seasoned, I guess, and experienced,
his name wasn't out there.
Yeah, you still don't know him. Like, it's just one of those things that I was like, wait. When he win and I see Sir came up on stage, I was like, wait.
Yeah, I had to Google it real quick.
I wasn't sure at first because I didn't know he was Sir brother, and he never mentioned it, which I respect from him because he's not trying to clout chase and claim attention based on the fact, yo, my brother is Sir, y'all gotta give me this and that kind of vibe. But
his younger brother, no less.
Yeah. I think that probably is more the reason why he didn't than anything, because it's like an ego wise, like, yo, you my little brother and you more known and you popping. Like, no, I don't like that. I'm gonna make my I feel like it's more that kind of vibe. But that's why he didn't need to win. Flawless, Troy Man never would have won, in my opinion.
Not with Flawless and then be there. Nope.
Like, he would not have won. Flawless, to me, my biggest critique on him is just he could have. Yeah. He has the talent. The thing with Flawless, to me, he has the talent, he has a look because he's a handsome dude and stuff. He could sell to the ladies and whatnot, but that's his weakness in a sense. Because to me, that would be his biggest selling point. Because battle rap don't sell. Like, we all know the people who could do the most lyrical shit, like a King Los. King Los there on that judge.
I love that he was on this. By the way,
who hears about King Los's music? King Los can rap circles around most of your favorite rappers,
for sure.
But King Lo's music, we know that he said it in the show as well. A lot of times, the people who's with the nastiest pen, they get overlooked because they don't have the marketability, the look in, something about them in terms of selling isn't there. And I feel that's kind of why I feel with Flawless. He could rap great. Probably one of my favorite, like his in the battle rap era. in the battle rap challenge, nobody would have beat this dude.
Nah.
Cause Flawless is the dude who was put against Beans. Beans was one of the people I was talking about earlier, who was like, they both like them, and then they paired them up too. So like Beans had to go home, and like
the thing is, he cleaning it up now.
Yeah, but if Beans went against somebody else that wasn't Flawless, Beans would have still been in the competition. Yep. But he put him against Flawless, who's like his forte is battle rapping. That's kind of like more what he does type of thing. It wasn't no contest.
Yeah.
He just eat her alive. But the softer side, like when they come to the challenge, they had one of the challenges where he had make some love song type of thing. Your problem is you still delivering these lyrics like a battle rapper.
Super hard.
Like the softest. If you work on that's the one weakness that I saw in Flawless. If he could actually tame that and actually learn to bust, who's more hyped than Buster? Who's more aggressive and thing? But Buster still made the song, baby, if you give it to me.
He bring it down.
He knows how to, like, he got the
dynamic.
perfect thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
When he needs to make them love songs, he could turn on, get that smooth voice and thing like that.
But that's been Buster's thing for forever.
Yeah. But
even in his hype songs, he still like always treads that line of very aggressive and then going very, very smooth.
And when, like, he got Break Your Neck. Buster made Break Your Neck.
Yeah.
I mean, he has songs that are like Break Your Neck, and then he has songs that are like Baby If You Give It To Me.
If anybody would have a song called Break Your Neck is Buster now.
Yeah. Oh, Wu-Tang, Protect Your Neck. But to me, that was just the one thing that Flawless needed to work it on. Cause like Cardi,
I agree.
Cardi was giving the man props and the thing, saying call him Rico Suave and Puerto Rican Papillon. Cause you know he has that look that's like chicks would probably find him attractive and stuff like that. But to me, it's just not convincing because you're delivering it with so much aggression. Like if you properly embrace the softer side and learn to sell sex, you know, be like I guess Champagne Papi, Drake, and do some of that.
Yeah,
it could work. But you scaring the chicks. Like it's like
barking at them.
You like imagine Meek Mill. Meek Mill trying to romance somebody. Like
I mean,
he just
probably
yelling.
mad aggressive boy. But I did like his last performance. Like every time I listen to it,
his best
that shit
performance was the one with
me.
his children. Where the daughters was in the stand. That performance, I ain't like
the last one.
I shed a tear and shit.
That shit make me chill every time I hear it. If you put it on now, I gonna feel chills. 100%.
I couldn't even lie. I shed a tear and stuff. It was a very emotional, like watching him perform with his daughter and his woman's there and thing. It was dope.
In terms of like performance, it wasn't even that much, but just how impactful the song was and how he delivered.
You enjoy the show. Like whenever you do get around to watching it.
I mean, I gotta watch at least the first episode tonight.
Yeah, the way I watched it was like I watched like the first and maybe like half of the second episode, and then I didn't watch nothing. And then when I saw the reveal, like the ending of it, then I went and actually finished watching the rest of it.
Oh, they were releasing it per.
They was doing it week by week. They had to do it with a competition show. They have to, because otherwise people can just be like, "Oh, who's the winner? Let me skip the type of vibe." So they had to do it.
No
like
suspense
that.
whatsoever if you do that. Yeah,
exactly. So when you watch it, I feel you enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Especially after the first episode with all them goddamn backstory.
Once they got past the auditions, I was
people
happy.
You don't care about.
So, like, how many episodes is the audition?
3, if I remember correctly. Because it's like 1 in every city.
So 4, because the first one is LA.
Which one is the one I should skip?
I wouldn't skip none of them.
No.
Like, to get a proper assessment of what the show is, I'd say watch it all, because I know I had a lot of critiques, but to me, watching it really is not that bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just if I had to critique something about it, it would be the elimination process and like how long they took to actually get to the competition. Because I was feeling like a little, okay, let's start this thing a little bit. So to me, if they did like 1 episode of auditions, I would have been fine with that. 1, maybe 2. They didn't need 3 or 4. 3 or 4, I feel like that. Let's say you got a 12-season show. If you got 4 episodes of auditions, that means you got 8 episodes left to actually have the real show.
Yeah, that's.
But you have to rush it. You have to cut things out. Because like in some of the post-show interviews that I watched with D-Smoke and some of the other finalists, a lot of them talking about, they had like thousands of hours of footage and stuff. There was a lot of shit that I wanted y'all to see. Like King Los was talking about certain intimate moments that he had with the people while he's coaching them. Because like for some of the challenge, King Los is like he's the rapper coach basically. So he critiquing you when you write your verse or whatever it is. Run it by him first, and then
I would love to see some of that.
Yeah, and King Lo self was saying like a lot of the conversation and thing of in studio while you're working with the people, they cut some of those things short. D Smoke was saying that, and even in some of the like the battle rappers, some of the verses themselves was cut short and stuff like that. So you might have missed a setup or something for the punchline. So then you hearing like the line and it just sound weird. Cause we was saying at one of his lines in D Smoke battle, he had say, you know, I'll really fight you, I'll really knock you out, I'll punch you or some shit like something along those lines. Like this a battle, but I'll really fight you, I'll really fuck you up. And it was like a weird thing. He was saying how when you watch it back, it just kind of comes out of nowhere because there was a whole like setup before that, so you didn't. We as the fans didn't get those bars and shit.
Those things necessary, man. Like cut out some of the backstory from the start and then leave those in. Like
that was just, I guess whoever's the showrunner and who was managing, okay, you know what content going where in which episode type of thing.
Yeah,
that could have been reevaluated.
How long is one episode?
It's all long. Long episodes.
How many episodes?
I think it might be like 12. I don't know how much exactly.
Damn,
I wasn't paying attention.
Cut 12, so much stuff out.
I wasn't paying attention to it. Like I honestly
with
don't
Netflix
know.
and its autoplay, you don't really pay attention to how much episodes. Yeah,
I just kept watching until it was like, oh, we get to the finale now.
Yeah.
And even that I felt was a little weird because the finale was 4 people.
Yeah,
it was like we went from 4 people to 1, so it was not like I felt like they could have did
top 3 or something.
A face off. They could have got it so that okay, these are the top 2. And now y'all battle each other or something to prove who's superior. Like they could have made it a little more. It's like okay, we got a top 4, all 4, give y'all final performance, and then based on that we judge the winner. Yeah. Like it's cool. Like, I enjoyed all the last.
I mean, I could understand why they didn't finish it with a battle rap ish type of thing, because then the person that can battle rap better is going to win.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, just make it like a versus 1 shot. Always like you give your dopest performance. You give like American Idol and shit like that does things like that. Whereas like,
but American Idol usually is like
top
2,
3,
3 is not. That's never
either
2.
way. But it'll still be some kind of, I don't know. I just feel like they could have made it a little more climactic. Like this is the final thing. To me, having 4 finalists.
Yeah, 4 finalists is weird.
I mean, no, I understand exactly why they had 4. Because at the end of the day, look, but it's not live, so I actually don't understand. But if you have 4, then you're spreading out the fan base more. So then you have, like, if someone like that, one of those 4 people, they stuck around for sure till the end. You understand? But if it's the finalists are 2, and maybe like let's say if it was D Smoke and someone else, and your favorite one already left, and you're like,
skip
fuck
to
this shit.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
True.
We spend way more time talking about this than
What you think? The cheap music guy is talking about music.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if you haven't seen the show, to all those who listening, go and check it out.
For sure.
Like, even if you know who the winner is, just to see like how the whole process went for all these artists and how they worked through the different challenges, it's very interesting to see. So
some of the ways some of them rose to the challenge or didn't rise to the occasion and stuff like that, depending based on the critique that they got and all the people who stumbled in certain moments and stuff like that.
Them stumbles hurt me physically.
I know. Like D Smoke on, like when D Smoke forgot his lyrics in that performance, it was like, God damn. And that was a crazy thing. Boy. Like the man forget his lyrics and still everybody's like, yo, you had the best performance. Like you forget your whole second verse to the song.
Wow.
And that's the kind of performance he was putting on. Compared to everybody else, we were still so impressed. They were just sad and depressed that we couldn't hear your verse. Cause that's how into the performance and thing they was. It's like D Smoke though, he's talented. I know it sounds like I was hating on the man, all podcasts and stuff, but it's just like you cannot look at D Smoke and not see Kendrick. If you do, you don't really like hip hop, or you don't really pay attention to hip hop. If you can't see the Kendrick in D Smoke, that's my opinion on that. That's his only critique. If he could. Maybe his Inglewood High project, cause that's a project that he have out now. That's like that drop post the show.
Oh, I ain't listened to it yet.
It's already out 7 songs, something like that. I plan to listen to it. I just ain't got around to listening to it yet.
Okay.
But if he could, in his videos and upcoming work and stuff like that he dropped, separate himself, because you from the West Coast, you're somewhat of a conscious dude, and it's hard to not fall into Kendrick lane.
Yeah.
When it's like, I don't know. If you could find some way to separate himself, and like, you're Sir Brother, you sign a TDE. Like some of the beats and stuff and all of that he chose is like you giving me TDE vibes.
Yeah.
Like you
And
sound like Isaiah Rashad.
I loved every
And that's-
second of it.
That's the problem to me. I hope somebody sees him and he signs to a different major label that's not Top Dog. Top Dog is the worst place in my opinion for him to sign.
Because he won't stand out.
So you telling me you can get priority over J-Rock, Absol, Schoolboy
People
Q,
still waiting on
Kendrick
Absol.
Lamar, Isaiah Rashad, Reason. Not, all these other rappers on the label. Sir can get priority because Sir
Different
is the
lane.
only R&B nigga on the label.
SZA.
SZA is the only female R&B person on the label. SZA will get priority. Kendrick in the label's view is the clearly best rapper, the world's best rapper.
Top dog.
So who is going to give you priority over Kendrick Lamar? Who?
You got to go in the queue.
No, but with that record
And
label, like
that's J-Rock, Absol, like you not
at
getting
this point,
priority
he would be
over
behind
none of those
Reason.
people.
Yeah.
and the thing is also with that record label, like legit, you ain't releasing anything until
Exactly
the project.
Exactly
Yeah.
the way they operate and their cycle and
queue.
thing. TDE is the worst place for D-Smoke to sign. In my opinion, it's the most sound-wise. It's the most logical fit for his sound. He
Yeah.
sounds like a TDE artist already.
Yeah.
It would be the perfect fit.
Like
sonically.
musically, it's perfect.
It just
But,
don't make no damn
yeah,
sense.
exposure-wise,
business-wise.
yes,
Like, go
yes.
sign to Pro Era. Go sign with Joey Badass and stuff like that.
Mm.
Because they have a roster of dope people, but Joey Badass is the biggest name on that list.
Yeah.
And I feel you could outshine Joey Badass. You more talented than Joey Badass.
Yeah.
So
More versatile.
you would get priority, even though you'd be the new person there. You would be the newest signee. 'Cause, like,
And he'd probably be the most different thing on that label as well.
yeah, probably because a bunch of New York dudes and he from the West Coast and things like that. So there might be a different.
And he could like start there, stay for a couple of years, and then when he exposes himself,
For all we know, he don't even need to sign a major. Maybe
he could stay independent too.
Exactly, because that's like I say in the beginning. That's kind of the whole idea of the competition. Encourage the independent grind. It just helps you fulfill your dreams. Make some video, shoot some videos, and
basically like
make some merch or whatever.
this
Do what you
man don't
do.
need much more exposure already.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he can make money off of like
The
writing and
one
shit
thing
too.
is just the kind of constantly staying. Because this is a buzz. This is a moment now that if he capitalize, it could go well. But it's just for the long term. Would you still be able to have access to come up on the Breakfast Club to go on a big like when it comes time for
Depends
promo
on
runs?
depends on how this album run goes.
Yeah.
That's why it's like
This
with the independent vibe. That's the one thing that you look because most of the time when it's like, yo, where this artist been? Like I ain't heard about such and such in this long time. It's because they're not on a major label no more. They're not in your face. They're not being played on the radio. They're not giving those people to give them the access to come up to Big Boy or the Breakfast Club or Hot 97 or No Jumper or whichever platform it might be. Like usually those things come true. Like as I was having a conversation with the wife here about Trina. Where has Trina been? I ain't heard about Trina in many years until like this year, early this year she dropped an album. And she put her work in between. She was just independent. So it's like unless you following Trina directly, you wouldn't know. And that's why it's like I just fear that could happen with D-Smoke type of thing where it's like yeah, you're doing all right. All the people who following you, all the people who know about you, but you don't really grow that way because you're not kind of.
It depending on what
It's a slow growth. It's a much slower growth.
It also depends what type of artist does he want to be in the end
When the
of
last
it
time
all.
anybody was talking about Tech Nine? Tech Nine been independent his whole career. Tech Nine got more money than your favorite rapper probably.
Yeah.
But because he's independent, he's not put on those platforms and he's not in your face like that. And all the blogs ain't writing about him and stuff like that. But Tech Nine richer than half.
But
of
he
him.
making his money. That's the most important. Most
but
important
is
thing.
that like that's the thing? Does he want to be famous or does he just want to have a loyal following? That's
the type of dude D-Smoke seems. I'm sure he'll be fine with the independent route because he's like 30 something. He's a little older. He's a little more mature. He's more of a grounded person. From some of the interviews he's talked about as well. He was saying like his most important thing was I want to put off on my seat. And like when he like the first performance he did, it was like very chill compared to everybody else. Apparently they was given instructions like when he come on stage, try hype up the crowd and whatnot. And he was like, yo, my name is D-Smoke. I'm from Inglewood, and the name of the song I'm doing is XYZ or whatever. DJ, play the song. And like that's kind of his thing. While everybody's like, yo, let's go, turn up, let me hear some noise, and all of them type of typical rapper shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He's a lot more laid back and yeah.
Yeah, I don't like.
From the start, he was one of those that stuck out as well. So
I don't like. We're gonna talk about this another time.
When you actually watch it,
yeah.
come back with your proper opinions and things.
Yeah. But I want to just talk about like fakeness in general. But that's a topic for another Three Amigo day.
All right, so we could get into one of your topics quick before we get out of here because it's close to a minute, but I mean an hour, but we could go on a little longer. You had two things that. What was you wanting to say about this fanboyism thing? Or the fear of missing out. Either one. I didn't know where you was going with either one of them. Pick one and explain.
Let's talk about fear of missing out. I feel like we live in a generation where everybody afraid to not experience something that other people experiencing or their friends experiencing. And you would think that that's a good thing? I don't think that's a good thing. I think people think that feeling that way is not a bad feeling to have.
That was a weird way to say that. You confused me. I don't know what you're saying anymore.
Okay.
I was about to say the same.
Our generation right now would make the argument to say that having that feeling, so the fear of missing out, something ain't a bad feeling to have.
That FOMO is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the people that don't know what FOMO is,
Fear of missing out.
Yes. No, but not just that. For the people that don't know, if you ask them, they'll be like, yeah, I understand, yeah. That's fine. It's not fine.
Camera die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not fine. Sometimes you gotta miss shit out. Just accept it. Don't let it stress you. Don't be looking at your friends' Instagram stories. Getting stressed out.
Social media
hype shit. They ain't having fun. You're having more fun in your house, relaxing, chilling, than your friends. They're wasting money.
It's all like perception, right? All you've seen is the fun parts.
But Woods, how can you say that as a person who is out on a regular?
That's why I can say that, because I'm a person that's out on a regular.
So you're saying that the club baby ain't really all it's cracked up to be?
Not always.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, enjoy your life, whatever it is you're doing. Sometimes I'm at home making music and I'm having fucking fun. I see my friends posting shit in the club. I'm gonna be there when I got time.
But for now, you home making music,
enjoy
having
that.
fun.
Enjoy your moment. Everybody has their moments.
Yeah, it's difficult though. Because I feel like...
I know it's difficult, that's why I'm talking about it.
Like, it's not the main reason why everybody just do, like, the social media detox type of vibes, and because dealing with the constant fear of missing out or just feeling like, their life looks so much better, and, like, the feelings of inadequacy, comparing yourself and stuff like that. All of these things, and just sometimes the cycle of, like, do I care about it? Why am I plugged into this? Like, the information that you're getting, like... All of these things I feel is the main reason people be like, yo, I need to take a break from social media.
Exactly why.
The fear of missing out, feelings of inadequacy, all of these things.
Yeah.
Is there a way to deal with it, in your opinion, without doing that? Like,
without, like, taking a break from social media?
Do you not feel that that's, like, it comes with a territory almost? Like, if you subscribe to the social media life, if you on IG, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever, and a regular, like, checker of these apps, is that not part of what comes with it? Like, can you honestly feel that you just can consume all this content and not internalize any of it? Not feel like, okay, I would like to be like, wow, yo, this person look like they always out. They gotta be living good or whatever.
Not really. For me, at least.
So you just watch all of it and affected by none of it?
I only follow friends, first of all. Like, I don't follow artists at all, basically. The only time I see celebrities. I don't follow any type of celebrities. The only time I see celebrity stuff is on World Star. And let's not talk about World Star right now.
We don't ever need to talk about World Star, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Continue.
But, yeah. And the friends that I follow, the people that's in my circle, and when I mean circle, I also include my DJ circle and stuff like that. Yeah, I see they
famous,
party.
so that's why. Now that's why really you are famous. You live in the life other people want to live, so you don't have those feelings.
No, I
looking
don't.
at social
Let's
media.
not put that into the public mind. I
That's
am
what it
not
is.
famous.
Now we talk
But
about
it's
them
just-
all
I think-
time.
I think
you,
it's-
you the person with the most followers.
Yeah, but that's
you the
not,
one who
that,
always
that
out
don't
in
mean
the
nothing.
like, VIP and whatever
the
club
globe.
you want to go in them type of vibes. You the celebrity dog. So that's what you can't envy a celebrity when you are a celebrity.
I'm not a celebrity. Stop it.
Facts.
But it's just, I think it doesn't affect me because maybe because I'm a single child and stuff like that, and I just love myself to a sick degree. That I just always enjoy whatever it is I do by myself because that's something that I've always done.
I guess. Interesting.
Yeah, but what would that have to do with you comparing
That's why I've never
comparing yourself to what you see online? Like a very common one is like you see people your age, I guess, buying a house or something, right? For some people, that's like, okay, this person my age and he buying a house. Like I still here in school trying to finish. Like stuff like
Yeah.
that is what is get to people.
I understand, but then I just rationalize it with.
friends having children, and then I forget what was the name.
Is that a positive thing or a negative thing? Depends
I
on your
mean, it's
perspective.
things where it's like if you a chick who don't have a child and you feel like, oh, my friend's getting married and having
Yeah.
kids and stuff like that. All of these things is like to separate it or to make yourself immune to that in some ways. Like it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, but the thing is, I just see that everybody has their own journey, so I don't really. Like, it's like, okay, we all the three of
Mature
us
point.
buy a lotto, but one of us is going to win. I'm not going to then be like, shit, I should have bought that number.
Yeah.
I don't think that way. It's just like, okay, you won that. Cool, I can continue doing my own thing.
I
Like,
feel-
I'm never really envious of something that someone else has.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, you bought it, cool, I just go and save up until I can buy it. I'm happy for you that you have it, but I don't then go think about, shit, why don't I have it yet? That's never a thought process of mine.
It certainly is a mature
Internally.
way to look at it.
Yeah, I feel like
we getting old, so
it take people some time to get to that point in their life, you know. And like,
Basically.
people are being conditioned by social media to kind of want these things, like, and have these things to post on social media and have other people like them. So it's like you
Like
kind of gotta unlearn.
I just be even more concerned
Stuff like
in a
that.
way about the generation like after us, the generation like the early people was talking about the people born in the 2000s and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like these people who grew up literally with like there was no time without social media. Like those people, I'm concerned about their perceptions on life and all kinds of shit. Like
actually I'm not concerned about their perspective of life. Because
I feel
we are the
for
guinea
us-
pigs.
I feel like for us, but it's still different. We know reality without it. So like, if I tell you, yo, just get off social media, you be like, cool. Like, you probably wouldn't do it because of DJ stuff and all of that you still do and promote or whatever on social media. But I mean, you could imagine living without social media, without being critiqued or without having a million eyes on whatever you do or putting your life out there. Like, you can still envision a world without that. But the people that's like 10 years after us, 20 years younger than us, let's just say 10 years younger than us, they born with social media.
That's true, but at the same time, I find like the conversation would be like it would span out to the point, especially with like how in the beginning people were talking about having safe sex and blah 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 blah, and all of that was new for our generation. I feel like, or at least I hope, that it's going to be similar in the sense that when social media matures to the point that those similar conversations going to be had about in the social media, mental effects of it and all the stuff like that, the people would be a little bit more wary of it, and it would just be a different type of problem that would get solved by itself just by going through the rigmaroles of life.
But I think conversations like that are being
Had right now.
Yeah.
I feel like this conversation pretty much is one of those type of things. Like regarding how do you deal with it if it gets too much, if you're feeling overwhelmed or whatever by it. Like listen to these type of shit. To me, the obvious answer is always take a detox, take a break of it, quit
And learn to love yourself.
altogether. Yeah, that helps. That certainly helps. I mean, if you don't want, because I never took a break, because to me it's just like not too much work to stop and then download, and it always annoyed me, the people who would be like, yo, hey everybody on my Facebook, I'm going to be gone for this. Like, just leave. Like, nobody cares about your goodbye message and stuff. Just leave. If you want to come on social media, just go.
Yeah.
So that was always kind of my thing. I just kind of deal with it. So for me, and I don't like, I limit my interactions on social media. I view people's stuff. I don't really post much. If I'm posting, it's link up related majority of the time. I used to post more. Like you was talking about this last week, getting frustrated about people not sharing your shit and stuff like that. Like, I've been through that phase as well. It's like people going to like what they like, people going to share what they like. People gravitate towards memes on social media. If you want to be the person out there trying to educate people, go somewhere else, go to school or something like that. But social media in the place because people just trying to fuck with memes.
Yeah. Fast media consumption.
Yeah. That's what gets
especially
likes.
on Instagram. Like, if people,
Facebook, no different.
yeah, if you want to really be educational and stuff like that, YouTube is more like your area. If you really want to have a more
Meaningful impact.
not just impact, but just if you want to have a more meaningful conversation on a platform, then YouTube would be a better place.
Yeah, that's why we do the link
Podcast.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Shout out to
like-
all the woke people out there listening to the podcast on YouTube.
Like, I also realize I'm terrible at interacting on social media. Like, I don't always be the most enthusiastic texter and stuff like that, and use a lot of emojis and different things, and certain things, like, my personality is something you need to consume in person in a way. Certain things I say, the way I say it, it could be taken completely the wrong way. If there's no intonation, if there's no, what's his facial expression, what's the body language, like all of that is removed via social media. And I realize I've gotten to a lot of completely unnecessary arguments or had different falling out to people about social media interactions. That's just terrible. And it just comes because I'm a person that is not the most like real life social person. So social media became like my substitute almost for like real relationships and interactions with people. And shit just goes wrong from there. Because in my opinion, it's supposed to enhance your real life relationships. So like you cool with people, talk to people in a way that they know what how to respond and how to interact with it. If you don't have some like the just enough, if you even spend enough time with somebody in real life, you wouldn't know, okay, if he's saying this, what's the intonation he's likely to mean this with? Oh, this is his sense of humor. Does he just mean this as a joke? It just text, but you know, there's those type of things you pick up with if you're actually around the person.
Yeah.
And because people don't be around me, they don't know how I mean things or what I'm trying to say when I say shit. So then shit just turns into a completely different thing, and it's like, if I'm not the quickest responder back to the text and all, it just leaves things, shit just goes bad, basically.
Yeah. I don't answer people
Call your
back
friends.
a lot of time. Yeah.
Go see them in real life, call your friends. It's the best thing to do.
I don't do that. I used to do
I
that
don't
more
call
often.
nobody. I don't call
Let's
nobody.
Yeah,
Go see them or
I am not the best.
I don't like talking on the
Follow-upper.
phone. Like, if you call me, I get upset when I see my phone ringing. Like,
Yeah, me too.
Why is this person calling me?
That's the introvert trap.
But it's better. Basically, like, talking, at least then you could hear into it. You might not see facial expression, but you can hear facial expressions and shit like that. Like, when somebody's saying something and laughing and smiling, you could hear the smile. Like, or at least that the mood generally. You might not hear the smile exactly. 'Cause there's no sound, but
The tonation will incline. Give you
all
the
of those
inclination
things is a lot
smile.
better than just text.
With a bunch of smiley faces.
Especially, especially if you're not a emoji person to really help. And cause to me, that's what they for.
You gotta
Like,
use them emojis.
Yeah, but I just don't. There's a couple of them. The thinking emoji is my favorite emoji. That's probably the most used emoji, and in my recent things is always there. No,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be sarcastic, smiley or something like that, but
You can use it in many different ways.
Yeah.
to me, it's just thinking.
I'm like recently I've been on the process of creating my own memes with my own body. So I'm taking selfies and then
Captioning them.
putting memes on that so that when people say something weird, I just post that picture.
Oh, okay. True.
You better be good.
I mean, it's only for my friends.
Ah.
I'm not gonna like.
I ain't never seen none, so I'm not your friend.
Ooh.
I mean, do you really want me to send you a picture of myself with memes, King? Think about that for a second.
Well, maybe. Depends on what mood I'm in. Depends what they catch me on.
Remember this conversation.
When you least expect it.
Just seeing Woods' random faces on my phone popping up.
On a random Wednesday. Oh, man.
So let me think. Is there anything else that we need to get to? We are hour and 15 minutes in. How what y'all think? Want to done something else?
Honestly, I think we're good now.
Yeah, man, it's been good.
The Three Amigos once again.
Unrated, and usually it turns into some form of a music conversation. And I mean,
It did.
I guess today wasn't much different talking with rhythm and flow for the majority of it.
Similar conversation. We talk about the TV show.
Media.
We talk about
I mean, that's what we do here when it's the Three Amigos, aka the Take-Ins. We talk about media in some form.
Yeah.
Well, people, hope y'all enjoyed this link-up episode with the Take-Ins. I mean, hopefully on the next one, Kalissa and Kana, or Kalissa, either one of them will be back, switch it up a little bit so we're not just talking about music and media and them type of ones.
and being taken.
Let me just say, I love that name.
The Take-Ins. I mean, did we explain what it mean?
Nah, we did not explain.
No, we did not.
Hey, just leave it right there.
Yeah, we're going to explain it the next episode.
All right, cool. yeah. All right,
We should make shirts, though, the Takens.
We could, but then the other people gonna feel it. I mean, when we start the concept of the Three Amigos, how did Kalissa feel about that? She wanted to be a four amigo.
Hey, it's very easy to change the status so that they also Takens.
Yeah, is it very easy though?
I mean, if
depending on who you ask, I think they will have very different opinions on that. You a celebrity, so it's easy for you.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all on the next episode.
All right, dude. So with all of that, plugs. We need any plugs before we get out there?
I mean,
Anything?
like the episode has been so long. Or sometimes when I look at the time, I'm like, do we really want to finish with plugs?
I don't know.
Because we were like, let's start with plugs, and then we just stopped doing that as well.
That whole idea, we forgot about that whole idea. Plugs in the beginning. It's just a natural kind of way. Like I don't know. Yeah. It's a weird thing to plug in the beginning.
True. Well, what am I plugging? Well, it's November month, and I said some stuff are going to drop in November month. Just stay tuned.
That was kind
of. I know the butterflies are starting to pop up in my stomach every time I look at the date, and I'm like, yeah.
So stuff ready to go?
Indeed.
Yes, one track is 100% ready to go.
All right, then. You gotta send that to me.
Yes,
let me hear a quick test, and then I'll let you know if I agree with your statement about it being 100% ready to go.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't got no authority on nothing, but just I'll pay attention to some stuff, mix wise and them type of things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, when the podcast done, we could talk about that for a second.
Yeah, man. But alright, I don't got nothing to plug. Just make sure look out for January 8th. The Mistuh King LP is gonna be dropping, so be on the lookout for that. Stay tuned in them ones, and yeah, if nobody got nothing else to add, we'll see you peoples the next time we link up.
Later.
Peace.